Okay, so it is going to be a short dev stream today. We need to work for the new inventory system. And then maybe we'll tackle more advanced topics later during the week, as long as the heat wave permits. It's so hot. Sometimes it's not that pleasant to do the stream while the room is still hot. So let's see, maybe an hour and a half today. Okay, so last time, inventory component was changing from the square format to rectangle format. I think we need to open components file for this. Go to the inventory items page. So we are transitioning from this square look, this one, which shows some number with the unit, and the units in some cases could be like 912 seeds or seedlings or stackable items. This is like finished product, tomato, stuff. And in some cases, we think it is going to display kilogram. But either way, when you have super Italian paste, as seed, seedling, or finished product, you're looking at three different entities in the inventory. And each one will have more or less similar buttons, but then, a few of them will look different each time. So you have to essentially click three different things to take the right action. And so this new plan is going to combine all of that into one area. So you could distinguish between item types easily. And that if you click this arrow, well, not the arrow, but the row itself, this is just a highlighted state. Could have been here too. This is going to bring in these options from the right. So you'll go back and forth. Maybe we need an arrow here to take us back to um, the view state. So this is the view state, this is the action state. What did I just click? Okay, layout. So that's the work we are going to do today. So the trouble, of course, is if we have more than 4 buttons, what will happen? I don't know. But for the time being, I think we seem to have only 4 buttons. That's what we determined last time. And I was working out the size here, which is now changing. Still too large. We need to find this frame. I think this has to be 4. This is 119. Actually, 1 pixel. Let's make it 3. And then we click this frame and then reframe it. So 119, 125, 119, 121. Bit of a problem. If I recall, I was in the process of making this look taller, right? Because if I give this one, if I do this, let's go individual. Need to go 6, 6. This frame is white. Something is not adding up. If I do this, oops. And see if I this, it's good. Let me look at the standard false case. I think I should stick with 119. Okay, let's take this back to 4, 4. If anything, we need to actually take this one. In each case, we have, yeah, we need to bump this down to 4. Frame it. Actually, we could take it one down. This 2 will have 3. Going to be 18. Let's make this 119 as well. I think that is going to. Ah, okay, let's reframe here. It doesn't fit because there's something that is stretching it. Yes. Let's force you 190. Something else is I think I manually adjusted. Yeah, they are not in a frame that creates defines the height automatically. They were manually. So we need to go 39. 2 up, 4 up. Frame itself here could be perfect. But now when we come here, okay, and it and nothing is stretching out unnecessarily. Good. This still feels like too tight here. Super paste. Just enough. But it doesn't really have that much room to breathe. This is too big, most likely. Here, maybe we should make this group a layout. Center this. Um, make you semi-bold. I'm also thinking maybe this area, I did this half off, right? It's 119 to 8. For some reason in my mind, I kind of wanted it 272. Don't know why. So we have this right section, we have this frame, we have some line here, some rectangle, which is What if we did forget about this? I mean the rectangle. Let's turn this into component. Let's call this item. Now, move this rectangle out of the way. This actually has 3 and the stroke. We'll give that to the component itself. I want this to be 272. I have no idea. Oh, I see. There was also a rectangle, right? Let's create a stroke for this side. This, the content, so it actually covers it. So for the auto layout, we'll have 0, everything snapped. Or maybe we do 1. Here's the line. This one should be X width. I don't quite know why, even though it's one bit. This frame should be filling it, not bucket. So it did it the other way around. Fill container. Okay. 272. Why do you keep resizing it? You kind of go and occupy that space. Fill container in vertical too. Gotcha. So the background here is who's responsible for the background? There is actually a separate background. Can we simulate that background by, this is just some basic color. Can we actually simulate it here? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we don't need this superficial thing that is essentially the frame itself that is giving the fill and stroke. We are not exposing this component's properties to the inventory items. Let me restart that sentence. This component has one variant that is called expanded. So it could be looking in this state or this state when it's expanded false or true. Although you could individually control it here as part of this component, clicking this component doesn't actually have those options exposed to you. You have to kind of double click to enter a subcomponent to change. Um, so now that we have inventory item, let's publish this. We'll go to UI and we'll pull in inventory item here. Sets the items. Here's an event. So this is going to replace the square ones. Of course, the area is getting bigger. So we still haven't decided what we are doing with this explanation, whether we should have that explanation or not. See what we can listen to today. let's see. So we could always put an eye icon here for getting information. So it would show this in a tooltip. There is another plan, which is farming encyclopedia or, or Farmipedia, something like. So I believe it's under icons, right? Icon, this Farmipedia. This icon could be here. When everything has auto layout, how do you inject this into this structure? Only there is a way to exclude the parent containers layout. Because this has auto layout. If I could stick it inside something that actually this has auto layout too. This mushroom could actually be its own frame. Going to look. See, the problem is if I frame this and then stick the Farmipedia icon in the same frame with this, then the total width of this is going to change, which is going to change the whole rule about this to you know, align it automatically. Nevertheless, let's frame it. Okay. Now inside this frame, we'll stick the icon. Is this okay? This is horribly wrong here. Okay, good. The thing actually, no, I just answered my own question because this doesn't have an auto layout. I can put this anywhere I want. So I'm kind of pushing it. This okay. Let's publish and let's review. Okay, here's the icon. Looks a bit small, but I'm not at 100%. Yeah, I should have maybe trained. Anyhow, it's done. Review, fresh, update all, done. Okay, this is it. So this is going to take us to the proper explanation for the plant. Um, Now this edible business, um, this is clearly showing. If I could find it, state final product description. Now, This was taking into account um, edible products as the final product. Um, there's equipment description, which actually comes with damage, something like that. But that information is actually displayed in its own context menu. When you click structure, you get to see its condition, its cleanliness, that sort of stuff in here. Rain barrel, how clean is it, that sort of thing. Let's go back to inventory. Let's go actually back to the working version. It's simpler. Browse here, and there it is. So we already have the condition, cleanliness, and durability in 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 its own context menu, and this is actually some text, generic text. Why Rain Barrel is a useful system. So again, that kind of information maybe shouldn't be repeated in the thing. So we are holding deployable items in our inventory, and the generic text is displayed during market research. And with Farmipedia icon, we could read them later. That's fine. So really, the relevant information here is, or the action is, what are you trying to do with this? You could have a quantity piece of information here, and then you take the relevant action. With the finished product, we are already covering that topic. So I think this is it. Um, just need to get rid of some of this stuff. So let's keep this one here as a placeholder. We might also need a vertical one at some point. This is gone, gone, gone. It's all gone. So I have this. Did I do this in icon? I did. This is the volume icon. Done. You can always bring more in. Just some explanation. Done. Some text. Red beans. Source Sun Pro semi-bold 15. I think this is maybe what we can change. Semi-bold, and the color is actually nicer here. Don't know. And the fact that it's actually 15 feels it a little bit better. Creating icons for so many items in this game, it'll be a ton of work. But this is, we kind of need something else. Let's see it in context. Context is everything. Yeah? Imagine we have many of this. Twelve, 12, 12. Okay. So I believe we have something lurking under there. Put this out. We have actually gained space. We could either stick another one here or keep this narrower. So this light green here, we have that base here. So that's the same color. It's sort of followed here, only when it's over, we have this row highlighted. Okay. If we are going to keep this area, we could stick the filter options there. Because we are gaining so much space, like all these three, I believe, right now, this frame is 60% of it. It looks delicate compared to this big ass button. We need a search area because that's useful. The sorting options might be useful, but I mean, how important are they? Because if you start the sorting business, for the sake of planting the type of the plants for which you have the most seed, should you then sort by the number of seeds or seedlings? Alphabetical sorting, okay. Edible items or stackable items, okay. By weight, sure. Then yeah, you really need to introduce the other two. I think I'm going to make two columns, ascending, descending, and essentially like a radio button, but it's a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, two columns. You can only select one option. Say you choose this one in the row and column ascending, descending, that kind of thing. Select the right combination. So that actually makes sense because we could utilize this vertical space. This text button here is let's turn this into a proper component. Let's cut this. Let's stick it here. This is actually not an inventory item thingy, but this is just a normal component. This is actually essentially a form controller. Let's create a new page. Form controls. You paste it here. You cut this. I take this just in case. I feel like we are going to need it soon. Let's go to components. Let's take these guys. Let's move you to form controls. This is the old stuff. Inventory item. Just for the sake of keeping things meaningful, let's call this inventory item. We'll call this square. Okay, we'll call you rectangular. Because I don't want to lose it, you know. I mean, maybe we'll relabel this to something else and it'll turn into a different component. This will go to form controls too, but maybe that's another day's job, as well as the buttons. And we have other more composite components, so that's fine. Just gotta refresh my water and I'm coming back. So we're in form controls. We put the let's put the checkbox here and the radio button here, perhaps. So this component that we are creating is text input, or it's actually line edit component in Godot. I'm not quite happy with the way this gradient is okay, but looks sort of go with a solid color. I believe there's some shadow somewhere. There you go. Maybe we want this to be this fill color to be as light as this, and stroke is going to be, it's actually the same. Surprise. This X here is wrong. It's the text. I think we need an icon there. I believe I put them under UI button, which actually has a neutral, sorry, what's the role? It's a primary role, close button, that is true, neutral, neutral. Color could change. There you go. So we could actually utilize this too. Let's put you in here. Okay, get rid of this. We could change this with the red X without the background later. This is fine. So this is actually a component now. Let's turn this into a component. Component will be called line edit. I think it's called line edit in Godot. Regardless, it is line edit here now. So let's publish stuff. And we'll stick to line edit here. Review, update, done. Here is form controls, line edit. Okay. By the way, I haven't touched the working version. That should still be fine here. We are working out the new inventory screen. This will fit in somewhere here. I think we could make this component a bit smarter. Or not. Because we've already done it smarter. Okay. So the layout fixed itself. That's good. So this is what I have to make a choice. First of all, let's move you to the left. And let's make this panel a bit larger. A little bit larger. Actually, I'll do it from the right. I'll move everything to the left. Let's lock you. So pull you up. So this is all 12, 12, 12. 12. Now, do we stick all this here? We could actually make this even shorter. Like this. And then maybe 12 here is good too. Can we now stick you here? With a bit of luck, we can. Um, Nope. Go back to my light sounds. You could easily put a label above this option that show planting equipment. Hmm? Great. Oh, funny cat. So let's do the sort options, and then maybe I'll figure out a better layout here. We kind of need to those things here anyway. So here's an icon, which actually used to be the denomination icon component, but I put everything under icons, right? So let's go here. It's gonna go away most likely. Just the icon. Okay. So we need. I think I put them close to each other now. Um, we need this. The size isn't that important right now. I think I need 5 seeds. Let's go in this order at least. What is it? Stackable. I did volume, I remember. And we also have weight. And maybe I never did that. Let's look at the components. So here we are looking for a weight symbol. Yeah, the fifth is missing. So that used to be the denomination. Somewhere here. Let's do zoom out. Here. So all this is now garbage. So we needed a volume denomination, and take one of these, stick it in here. So wait. It's roughly 30, 34. Just need to take the description here. Copy. Stackable. This one, paste inside. Stackable is now going away. All this is now going to occupy 30, 34. This is it. a little bit big because the space it's occupying is a little bit big. Actually has some white space. The frame is too big. I see. Well, this is easy to do. I could add another plate here. This one, just move the around. 1, 2, 3. I think it's easier to move this one. 1, 2, 3. Thirty. This looks balanced compared to this. It doesn't have to be perfectly 34 because it's going to feel like it's a huge object. See what we can do here. Copy paste. $31. It's not too bad. Sure. Now this doesn't need to be 34 then. This could be 30 like this. This could actually be bold. Yes. Could even be 1 pixel less. This text is good. Okay. Okay, let's go with this and then we'll fuss with it later. We are updating this so that we could utilize it in the UI file. Okay. There you go. Going to be weight. Good. So we need something like this for this area. Let's just stick this here. Okay. So where's this line here? Stick this here. Let's call it sort by. Let's group you. Let's create an auto layout. Let's do. Okay. I feel huge. Okay, we need more components from phone controls. Simple radio button. This one. Okay. Now we want this to be duplicated 5 times. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move this one down. take this group auto layout. Okay. I'd have to start this here. Okay. Copy paste. Actually, don't. Let's duplicate it in place. I don't know why it does this. It takes it out of the. Let's make this one selected. Right. Good. Take these and group them. So this is what I'm talking about. We need ascending descending indicator. Could it be as simple as this? Let's take these two. Take them here. Let's do auto layout. This and something like this. Simplify this. So take this frame and find the frame inside this frame. Okay, copy, paste. Okay, take you out. Okay, let's do horizontal. Perfect. What if the player selected one of these? Let's give it 8. Let's also do this. They're vertically centered. But if they selected this and then only 1 out of 2 options instead of like 1 out of 10. So that like they will click this one and then the proper option. Going to be like copy this radio button, put it in here, another one, and let's move it. We may even write the text ascending, descending. Because I mean, do we really get the idea that this radio button is checked? We don't see what's happening here, but it's sort of like going down because look, this one is not checked, this one is checked. They both show going down. Maybe. But if possible, be as explicit as possible. Let's take this one up here. What does that mean? Take this one up here. This way. Maybe this one is selected. Now, do we get the idea that this one is actually going down? It's selected. Should be just type descending. Sorry, descending. Because we now have space. Be like, yeah, let's turn this into a normal radio button. Text radio button. Here. Let's call you we don't need all this. This is the frame that we used. Here's another frame. I think this is going to work. Except be careful about the translation. I'll copy this text here so I can see the text length. I don't care about this. This is the word that I'm looking for. Russian. Whoa. It's long. So when we put it here, what happens? Duplicate this. Take it out. It doesn't fit. We could do 2 lines. I think it makes sense to go with 2 lines here. It has to be this. Try Norwegian. This. I think it's even shorter than this. German. More or less the same length. A little bit longer. pretty much. Italian is also going to be similar, andante. It's pretty much like Norwegian, okay? Different, but same length. Okay, I think we'll go horizontal. I mean, vertical here. You could even make the text a bit bigger if necessary. Just need to figure out a way to show the selected one. This kind of has to be like a button. So this can be everything. Kind of need a horizontal balancing there. Since this is going to be just like this one. 8. Okay. So we'll move this up here. Show everything. This is kind of in an awkward spot. You're breaking the rhythm there, sir. Let's frame you two. Let's group the auto layout. To 8. Let's move you up. I will either stick this here. So then you have to be grouped. Group. How come this is 8? Yeah, see the white space here? There's a bit of gap here. Text is 18, but there's white space here. Same distance, but there isn't that much white space here. The fact that we see this name of the frame is also confusing me. Trying to see it without that gray text. But I think we need these lines as section separators. Something like this. Nevertheless, we kind of need something under. Can we make all this fill container? This fill container too, and we do something like 34, but instead, can you scale them though instead of horribly stretching them? What happened to proper scaling? I don't get it. Maybe they have to be individually selected and okay. Okay. I made them 2 pixels shorter. I think they look better. It was a bit huge. Can we do something like this? Will it look too awkward? I think this has to be a 10. You condense there. Let's just move this to the side. Not sure if I like that. Let me remove this inner shadow. It's getting in the way of so many things. It looked nice by itself, but it's ooh, especially here. Inner shadow, inner shadow. 1 1 4. -1 -1. For some reason it looks more pronounced here. I don't know why. Doesn't change it. Ooh, this probably has a section. Yeah. This one has a possibly different value there. Maybe this one doesn't even have that. It has. I think I know what's happening. There's double eyes. Anyway, we don't want it anymore. Review and accept. Ah, I could easily introduce a big text here as like filter. There's a bit of color variation here. It's light green and then white. Because if I do it this way, this doesn't look centered. Let's see. So green background, white background here are all different. So we just need to stick this search somewhere here too. And we might be done. It's as if last week I thought of more filtering options, but maybe I already accounted for those here. I think one of these new options was show finished products. So you could start preserving them or selling them, donating them. That I mean, they are going to be the planting options. Okay, so we need to figure out that button system here, right? Let's do that. So let's create a fill here. First of all, that fill could be one of these. Okay, and the stroke could be this one. Okay, now we go into that. Let's do 8. As usual, let's do a round corner. Okay, there's something pleasant about that. And now whichever one is selected will have this sort of background. Pick that one. Going to be somewhat 39-ish. Yeah. Of course, if you stick it in there, it's going to be making it part of icon. I mean the frame. Okay, take these two, group them. So and then we do sort of positioning there. This is going to be like that. Good. Is this how it was? No, this is the right size. Actually, confused. Yeah, it's stretching the. So this can be 32 and the icon 32 at the same time. That makes sense. Okay, icon is 32 and this is actually doing excite. Could be done another way, but I have to set the icon to fill the area. Okay. This kind of looks awkward. This is what we'll do. You'll have 0 at the top, 0 here. Okay. We'll do clip content just like this. Done. Okay. So it's done. Because we have enough stroke precise stroke color here. These two things having the same color doesn't really bother me much. I'll probably stretch this a few more pixels out. Okay. I think in 10 minutes or so, I'll wrap it up. Or I'm wrapping it up to finish in 10 minutes. Let's see. Does this need a title? Is the question. I also feel like this should actually be forget that. Here's a frame. Some frame. Just this. Here's another frame. Picture rectangle. Forget that. Here's another frame. Hard to select those frames. Okay. Okay. Let's copy paste this, take it out, and sort of repeating it, but could also be same width. So this is 888. Could be also 8. 10. And here we did it 10, right? It's too close to the edge. Here we could go with 8. So here's what we'll do. Assuming this is still sort of like a topic we are discussing, this frame, there's a separator here. So we need a separator here too. Yes. We'll group you. We'll do auto layouts. Vertical, we'll do 8. Okay. We'll move you 12 pixels like this. Okay, perfect. When we do that though, it's actually doing it like this. So we kind of want you to be indented. Can we do that? This is only going to do it for this. We do it this way. All we have to do is increase the width 106 something. We force this to be but do we still need this? Remember, I don't want to make that part of the frame. I could, but this is what I'll do. Something pleasant about this. Let's put a text here. Something like this. Cannot select that. Take this. Close filter options. Something like that. Let's frame you. Let's give you a fill color like this one. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this down. Let's take this. There's a subtle green. Might not be enough. Let's see. And this text is 7, which is what was this? I guess the distance between is like margin. And this text probably has some indentation. Yeah, we should do that with padding. When we look at the even though it's still its own I didn't do that. Wait a minute. I'm on. What the? It stuck all this inside. I see. How are you doing this? Yeah, but so how does this look? You bold to me, semi bold, green, this color, darker. What happens when you duplicate this? Sure. So where is the panel? The panel moves out of the way. It says to come down like this. So it's compact. Maybe we'll have more options here. Definitely one more option here. We said this is going to be. It is the difference. So when you make it part of frame, everything is adjusting accordingly. So what did we say? It is going to be show the finished products, end products, final items, harvestable, edibles. I think we need one more option to be in. I know exactly what it is. Final product. Because when you make gems, they will end up in your inventory too. Let's stick this in here. I think Russian was the longest so far, right? Finished items. Russian detected, no. English to Russian. I think this is good enough. The order will change here, of course. If you find this border extra here, maybe we'll do something about it. We need a scroll bar. Then I think I'm calling it today. It should definitely be in form controls. Scroll bar. One of the first components I made. Move it to form controls. Done. Publish. Form controls. Review. You don't need to review because there's nothing here. It's using it. You need to stick this somewhere. It's gonna be here. Means we have to I think I understand why I was confused. The frame size wasn't matching. Okay. 1020, 822, 1020. Oh, this kind of looks a little bit floating there, but we'll see. Conventionally, this sort of thing will be on the left. This scroll bar still it's kind of very close to the edge. Yeah, let's make you 2 pixels less. This is the problem. When I stretch this whole frame, like I adjusted the frame size to encompass all the part here, they now all have the green background, which then has this green background. I want only this to have the fill, but this text to have fill. Actually, is this. So frame yourself. Then this has to be okay. Kind of work in progress still. Okay, now white, white. Okay, that's it for today. And tomorrow is Monday. I might stream depending on the heat in the room. Tuesday won't be a stream day, definitely. And we'll see how it goes. But I think we have a much better inventory screen. This is the old one. Had a pleasant look with lots of options. We had also wasted so much space here. And hopefully this will make much more sense, and we'll see with gameplay if it's needing more detail here and there. That's the limiting factor. We go back and forth fixing it, fitting more stuff in, and also legibility is important. But that's it for today. See you later.